In this video, we are going to understand how to create Google Forms and integrate with WhatsApp. So let's say you are using Google Form as a form builder application, and every time there's a new submission. So you want this particular person who has just submitted the form to be sent a WhatsApp message. Now for this you will have to integrate these two applications, and the same can be done using Pabbly Connect software. Here your trigger application would be Google Forms and your action application would be WhatsApp. Now how can you do this yourself and automate this entire process? To understand that, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, it will take us to the landing page of this software. Here on the right hand side, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. Here, since I'm an existing user, I'm simply going to click on sign in, and as I do that, it will take me to the all applications page. Here, since we are doing this integration using Pabbly Connect software, let's click on access now. And now we have reached the dashboard of this application. On the right hand side, you can see a tab create workflow. Let's click on this and a dialog box appears which is asking us to name our workflow. We wish to integrate Google Forms and WhatsApp. So I'm going to name my workflow as integrate Google Forms and WhatsApp. So now I'm going to click on create. So as we do that, we have reached another window which has got two very important events, trigger and action. Triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens and action says do this. Basically, action is the response of your trigger. So here my trigger application is Google Forms. Let's click on this. And as we do that, it is now asking me for the trigger event. Trigger event is the event that will make your workflow start. So here it will be new response received. Once done, you can see that you have received a webhook URL, which is going to act as a bridge between the two applications, Google Forms and Pabbly Connect. So here to set up this connection, I have to follow the following steps, which means that first I have to open my Google Forms and then I have to create a form and make the last question as required for trigger. So basically, I'm going to take you to the Google form that I have already created. So this is the Google form. Here I have the following questions. First name, last name, email address, phone number, and this is the last field which is requirement. Now to set up the real integration, we have to make sure that this required field, I have to toggle this towards right, so that every time this form is filled and this last field is filled, then the response will go to Google Sheets. So once done, here I'm going to go to responses and then I'm going to click on this. So here, when we click on the spreadsheet icon, you can see that you have to select the response destination. Basically, every time this form is filled, either this information, the data that you have received will go to a new spreadsheet that you wish to create or an existing spreadsheet. So here I'm going to select create a new spreadsheet. The name has already appeared here. Let's click on create. So as soon as we do that, here you can see that a new spreadsheet has been created. We have the following fields: timestamp, first name, last name, email address, phone, and requirement. So these were all the fields that we had in our Google form. Here we have another which is timestamp. Timestamp is going to basically register the exact time at which the response was generated. Since we have to connect this particular Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect, I'm going to go to extensions and here I'm going to go to add-ons. Let's click on get add-ons and this particular window has appeared where we have to search for an application which is Pabbly Connect webhooks. So once you click on this, you will have to install. So here I have already installed it, so I don't have to do the same again. Now I'm going to just click on the cross, again go back to extensions, and here you can see Pabbly Connect webhooks. So let's go to this and go to initial setup. So once we go here, now here you can see that it has automatically understood the sheet. So it is form responses 1. And then we have two options, webhook URL and trigger column. Go back to Pabbly Connect, and here we are going to copy this webhook URL that we have just received. Going to Google Sheets, I'm going to paste it over here. Now the trigger column. Trigger column is basically the final data column on which our data is added. So here if you will see, this is the F column, right? So I'm going to write F here and then click on submit. So as soon as we do that, if I take you down here, you can see setup configured successfully, which means that this entire setup is a success. Now let's remove this. And again, we are going to go to extensions, go to Pabbly Connect, and this time I'm going to click on send on event. Now we are going to go to our Pabbly integration request form, the Google form, and here I'm going to click on preview. So once done, here this is my form. Going to Pabbly Connect, here if I take you down, here it is saying that it is waiting for the webhook response. Basically it is asking me to do a test submission so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. Again we are going to go to the form, and now I'm going to fill this information. Let's see, the first name is dummy, then the last name is demo, then we have the email address as demo@pabblytudes.com. Then here we have the phone number, so this is, and then we have the requirement. So let's say it is highly required, right? And I'm going to click on submit. So as soon as we submit it, we are going to go to our Google Sheets, and here you can see that we have received the response here along with the timestamp. So going back to Pabbly Connect, here you can see that we have received the API response. This is the timestamp, first name, last name, email address, phone number, requirement, spreadsheet name, and then the ID, etc. So we have received this entire information. Now we wish that every time we receive this response, there is a form submission, this particular person who has filled the form should be shared a WhatsApp message. Let's say I have a business, and every time there's a form submission, I wish to share the brochure of my company, or let's say I just want to share a thank you message. So here I'm going to select my next application as WhatsApp Cloud API. Let's click on this. And now the action event would be send template message. Let's click on connect. And here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with WhatsApp Cloud API account. So to set up this connection, let's click on add new connection. And here you can see that it is asking for three things: token, phone number ID, and WhatsApp business account ID. Now to generate these, we have to go to our Metaphor developers page where I have already created an application, and this you have to go to the applications dashboard. So once you go to the applications dashboard, here you can see on the left hand side WhatsApp, and here you can see getting started. Once I've clicked here, I have reached this particular page where I have the temporary access token, phone number ID, and WhatsApp business account ID. Now this is just a temporary access token, so you have to create a permanent access token. Why? Because this particular token will get expired in 23 hours, which means that if you will create a workflow using this, your workflow will stop working after a day. So a dedicated video is given in the video description to create a permanent access token. You can go through the steps and create it. Also, if you want to know how we have created this application here and reached application dashboard, another dedicated video is given in the video description for the same. Now I'm going to copy this. Why? Because I'm just doing a test run. Go back here and paste it. Then we have the phone number ID. Let's copy this and paste it over here. And then we have the business account ID. So this is my business account ID, and I'm going to paste it over here. Once done, let's click on save. And here you can see that WhatsApp Cloud API is connected to Pabbly Connect. Once done, it is asking me for the template name. So what is this template actually? Whenever we want to generate our leads through form submission, and then we wish to share our brochure with them or etc. For this, we need to send a message on WhatsApp. Now you cannot keep on writing WhatsApp messages after every lead received. For this, you have a pre-written message in which there are certain variables that will keep on changing, like name, email address, company name, date, etc. This is known as a template. So here, if I go back to Metaphor Developers page, here you can see in step 2 to create your own message template, click here. Let's click here. And here you can see that I've already created these many message templates. And if you wish to create your own message template, you have to click on Create Message Template. Here I'm going to look for a welcome message that I already created, and it is new lead sign up. So here you can see that if you wish to add a header, you can always do that, but I haven't selected anything here. And then we have the body. So here let me show you, it is hi. And then here you can see that we have a number written within double curly braces. This is a variable, which means that with every message this will keep on changing. Thanks for signing up. Welcome to, here again you have another number which means the name of the company. We are so lucky to have you as a precious user. You will be among the first to hear about new arrivals, big events and special offers. If you need any support, do not hesitate to reach out with questions. We would love to hear from you. Regards. So here this is the body. Remember that this is totally customizable. You can create your own body. If you wish to add email address or any other information, you can write them within double curly braces. And finally, your WhatsApp message will look something like this. Example, hi Akash, thanks for signing up. Welcome to Pabbly, and then the information. Now I'm going to go back to Pabbly Connect, and here I'm going to select new lead sign up. So this is my message template, and once done, here the language code and template ID have already been captured. Now here we have to fill in the recipient's mobile number. So for this, I'll have to map the data. Mapping basically means that I've already received this data in the previous step, and now I'm just going to retrieve it. So let's click on this, go to Google Forms, and this is the phone number. Now once done, here you can see that you are supposed to write the mobile number with the country code but without the plus sign. So I'm going to write the country code over here. Once done, now here I need the name of the person. So let's again map the information, and this is the first name. And then here we have the body field, basically the name of the company, and it is not going to change again and again. So here I'm going to write Pabbly Connect because this is going to be static. Now here I have just given a demo number, so obviously it will not receive any WhatsApp message. I'm going to pause this video, give it my original number, and then I'm going to click on save and send test request. Now here you can see that we have received the WhatsApp message, and at the same time here is the screenshot of the message that I have received. Basically this means that this particular integration process is a complete success, but we also need to check it in real time. So now I'm going to go back to my Pabbly integration request form. So I'm going to fill in another form. So let's say this time the name is test user, and then the last name is 123. Then we have the email address as test@pabblytuts.com, and then we have the phone number, which is, and then the requirement, let's say this time the requirement is medium priority, and I'm going to click on submit. So as soon as I do that, if I take you to my Google Sheet, here you can see that we have received the response, test user. Now at the same time, here is the screenshot of the WhatsApp message that I have just received. So basically this means that this entire process is a complete success. Now I'm going to take you to Pabbly Connect and understand exactly what we have done. So if you will see here, basically this was just a two-step integration process where our trigger application was Google Forms and the event was new response received. Action application was WhatsApp Cloud API, and the action event was send template message. I hope this is very much clear to you. In case you have any doubt, you can always refer to the workflow. The same workflow on which we have worked on is given in the video description, and you can also clone this workflow and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any suggestion or advice, you can always write to us. I hope this was helpful. To watch more such videos, you can always subscribe to our channel, which is there on YouTube. If you have any queries, you can write to us at forum.pabbly.com, and if you want to know our pricing plans, then you can visit us at this particular site. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe if you have liked this video.